Astrology. Today, we are going to talk about the combination of Jupiter and Ketu, a very strong combination. But before that, thank you all of you for subscribing to our YouTube and Spotify channels and liking, sharing, and subscribing to our videos and audios, writing in your comments and your suggestions. And if you haven't subscribed to our videos and audios, please do that. And don't forget to click on the bell icon so that you can get notifications as and when the videos and the audios are out. So coming back to our Ketu and Jupiter combination, why is it very strong? Jupiter and Ketu both act in the same manner. In fact, Ketu has very strong connections with Jupiter. It's supposed to get exalted in the house of Jupiter. It's supposed to be the Mokshkarak, because it is, if it is in the 12th house, and it is generally said to be a Mokshkara. Now, Jupiter's house is the 12th house, the Pisces is the 12th house of the natural zodiac. Both have very strong affinity because Jupiter is said to be a spiritual planet. It is said to be the Dev Guru, said to be the powerhouse of knowledge, and Ketu is said to be the one that gives you the Paravidya, the Vidya or the knowledge, the wisdom that takes you beyond this world. So how many of us are willing to travel there, and how many of us have that in our chart? That's a very important combination that we need to check. Beginning with the fact that Ketu shows great reflection of Jupiter, especially when placed in its signs. Why? As I said, Ketu goes deep into the matter. When we are talking about the sign of Sagittarius, it wants to get to the base of a matter, try to understand what the truth is all about, and to understand different cultures. Once we understand different cultures, we do get to know that all the roads lead to the same Rome. So that is one of the truths of life, that basically everything that we do in different manners will lead us to the same place. That is something that Ketu does make an effort to tell us. Again, as I had said, that in Pisces, Ketu shows the reflection of a spiritual planet. It tells us that it connects us to the outside, not in the sense as in the world that we live in, but beyond this world, and understanding the connectivity between divinity and the one that is within us. So that way, Ketu gives us a strong sense of divinity, a strong sense to look within and find what we are searching for on the outside. If there is a strong Jupiter-Ketu connect, it shows good karma from the past. Why? Because Ketu talks about your past karma, and Jupiter is it is a benefic planet. It gives us a lot in plentiful. It's supposed to be giving us 16 different kinds of wealth. So Ketu Jupiter connect says that there's something that we're bringing in from the past and something that we can enjoy in this lifetime. Now, if there is a Ketu Jupiter connect for you in one of the 9th house, in the 159 houses, obviously that is a strong trikona, gives you a high leverage in life, says that you will be able to reach good heights. The 5th house and the 9th house also talks about the it also talks about our purva punya, and also talks about a status. Jupiter there is able to give a person a good status. Jupiter is the mentor. So and it's because it's the Dev Guru. So in the 9th house, which is also the house of gurus, which is also the house of mentors, you do end up getting a good mentor. One thing is certain: to become a good teacher, one has to also be a good student. So as you evolve from a student to a teacher, you also are able to become a good teacher, a good mentor. So you get a good mentor, you do good in life, and then you later on become a good mentor. That is what the Jupiter Ketu combination in 159 gives you. If it is there in the 10th house, you become a financial wizard, you become a financial guru, you're well known for who you are. If there's this combination that you find somewhere in your 7th house or your 3rd house, then your ability to speak on a public platform, Ketu cuts things, so it might cut on your speech, and Jupiter is also not very keen on speaking anywhere and everywhere that we find. However, whatever you say will hold a lot of value, and you can then say things very directly to the point and make a mark about yourself. Ketu and Jupiter together in the third house connects you to the subconscious, connects you to divinity. It also gives you an ability to write impressively, because Ketu, like Mars, does give you a thought process, and because you're getting it from the past, you're able to put that down on paper also. So it can also, in the third house, give you an ability to write, to create. Now, people always say that Jupiter is a good teacher. Obviously, if you have a strong Jupiter, you have the ability to teach well. Why? Because Jupiter is the Dev Guru. And Ketu, it also teaches, especially in combination with Jupiter, it teaches intensely. But Ketu is a far more intense teacher than Jupiter. Jupiter is said to be a benefic. Jupiter is said to be a planet that gives in plentiful. So whenever it is teaching, it teaches with a kind of compassion, with a need to slowly and steadily groom the student. However, Ketu as a teacher is harsh. It's got past life experiences, and it's a cruel planet. So one learns, but in the Ketu period, one learns, if Ketu is with Jupiter, apart from the Jupiter Ketu period, because then Jupiter will also be doing good. And so that is a period when you can be compassionate learning, or compassionate teaching is a possibility. But during a pro-Ketu period, one is a good teacher, but one teaches with methods which are a little on the harsher side, or one learns in methods, in situations which are a little on the harsher side. So if your Ketu Jupiter is together in, say, the 6th house, then your learning of the trade would be during that Ketu Antardasha, barring the Pratyantar of Jupiter Ketu, you would be learning during the entire Antardasha of Ketu in a little harsh manner, the tricks of the trade. Situations will make you learn, make you remember how you've operated, and then you can go ahead and do a good thing, because that's also an Ukcha house. So when we talk about the auspiciousness, we must remember that this combination is fairly sattvic, because Jupiter is said to be a sattvic planet. As per Uttar Kalamrit, Ketu is also said to be a sattvic planet. But Jupiter-Ketu combination can be a little harsh. Why? Because if Ketu is operating on a sattvic planet, it brings in a lot of good things. During this phase, you will see you will be doing a lot of puja, you will do a lot of good things. But if it is not operating on a sattvic level, though it brings in a lot of fortune at one level, but later on, it can take it back. Please do not forget to visit the chart of Adolf Hitler. In his chart, he has Jupiter, Moon, and Ketu conjunct in Sagittarius. Lot of name, lot of fame. But what happened during the last stage? Why was it happening? So we also see that the Ketu and Jupiter combination always shows a lot of ritualistic attitude. One needs to do a lot of tradition. If, again, I repeat, if it is working on a sattvic level, there is also peace and value systems are established. Why? Because Ketu is bringing back your past life tendencies with regard to Jupiter. So as I say, if there is, especially in the 5th house, then you would be moving in the value system of the family, say in the 10th house or the 2nd house. In that case, your family has a certain tradition and you would like to follow those tradition. In the 10th house, your family has a tradition of, say, Jupiter also believes in a lot of giving, is generous. So you would be probably moving in those families or in those business kind of situations where your business donates a lot to people. Then if it is, say, in your 4th house, then you could have a mother who's quite charitable, or you could be at your place, people who come to your place, they would never go without something in hand. If they came with a request, So your family atmosphere would be such that people would not be able to live without their fulfillment. In the 8th house, it's a quite a strong combination. Or in Scorpio. Why so? Because that's the house where you get a lot of mantra shakti, you do a lot of sadhana. Jupiter is also about doing a lot of, Ketu is about doing a lot of sadhana, and Jupiter is a lot of mantra shakti. So these people can do a lot of traditional form of sadhana. So we can see that this combination works beautifully in very many ways. But one thing one needs to understand is this is a more of an inward journey, Ketu and Jupiter. So you blossom more on the inward. The good qualities of Jupiter, like giving, being generous, knowing, understanding traditions, being wise, having a connect with the divinity, are more strong than being more of flamboyancy. Flamboyancy comes with the Rahu Jupiter combination that I have talked about separately in another video. So you can also watch that video to see how it works in your chart. You will see many a times that many people, big people who have this combination in their chart. However, their lifestyle may be rich, may be good, but it's not flamboyant. They do not go about telling people that this is what I have spent and earned. With Rahu Jupiter, one may not want to show it intentionally, but it does come on the surface. That we can check in any number of charts that we want to see. Again, as I said, there's a lot of establishment of traditions, of understanding of not just religion, but spirituality is very strong with this combination. And if you have this combination in your 7th house, please don't worry. It could simply mean that you could have a spouse who would be more bent towards spiritualism than materialism. Not to worry. It could also mean that you would, because then there would be Rahu on the Lagna. You are one who wants to take a good stand in society. Your spouse is the one who wants to move towards spirituality. Balancing factor, because Jupiter also aspects your Lagna. Take a good note on it. Do write to us. Let us know how you felt about this video. And till we meet with you again, please hit the bell icon for fresh updates. Don't forget to like, share, and comment on the videos, and please subscribe to our